Okay, cute. So, hi everyone. I have this reading that I'm going to do for us. Welcome to November and Scorpio season. But I just realized that I literally pressed record at 2:22, which I feel like I love when those angel numbers and synchronicities pop up just to really remind us that we are always connected to the divine. We are always connected to cosmic beings and energy. We are always connected to something larger than ourselves. So, angel number 222 may hold particular significance for you. And also, I just want to shout out the fact that we. We have been able to see the aurora borealis from so many places here in the Northeast, which I guess apparently coincided with Representative Raul Grijalva's signing something which released like 20,000 pages of the documents. So I just feel like this is a really powerful turning point in time. And I feel like although there might be a lot of signs of suffering and evil, there's also really abundant cosmic signs of beauty and wonder, and most of all, continuation of hope. So wherever you are today, wherever you're seeing this, wherever this finds you, please remember that. Please remember hope. Please remember optimism. Do not gloss over the very real terror and brutality, but remember beauty. Remember hope. So to help you with that, I'm so excited because I have pulled out my very own spread, and this is going to be actually my first time publicly sharing this spread. So I posted this spread back earlier in the, I think, spring in this year. And I created this spread, I think in 2023. And it's called the Unlock Your Star Potential spread. And so I will repost the how to do this spread at some point. But today, if you see me looking at my notebook, it's just to remember what all the placement of the cards mean, because this is my first time doing the spread. So welcome, settle in. Again, happy Scorpio season. You know it's Scorpio season, so we're going to be diving really deep, peeling back the layers of the superficial, seeing right through the illusion into the womb of the matter, into the dark of the matter, into the creativity of matter itself. So let's take about 3 deep breaths to settle in. You're welcome to join me if you'd like, and let's get into it. Thank you so much. If you're new here, remember to subscribe, like, and follow. And if you like the reading, I am always accepting tips on my Venmo, and I am open for personal readings as well. Okay, cheers. One more. Let your exhale be longer than your inhale. Okay, so this reading features the star card, and the star card is going to be in the center because what we're doing is reaching in and unlocking your star potential. Now, please remember that this is a collective message, a collective reading. Don't assume everything is going to apply to your situation or fit. Don't try and force anything to fit. If it applies, cool. If it doesn't, let it go. And cheers. So first of all, the star card is connected to the sign of Aquarius, and Aquarius is that really cool, amazing sign that also corresponds to our technology, which is also like represented by, in my opinion at least, our collective consciousness. So let's see. Our first card is, what is my greatest strength presently? And we have the Empress. Beautiful. So we're starting off really, really strong. Your greatest strength right now is in your ability to be present, and is in your ability to really love, to really have an open heart. To embody the energy of Venus does not mean just a kind of superficial love, but rather an all-encompassing love, a love that one is willing to fight for or allow yourself to be fought for. The energy of Venus is not just the energy of pink hearts, it's the energy of a sword, Venus is a warrior. So this is an energy right now that's talking about being really abundant with ideas, with creative potential and possibilities, and for some of you with life itself. This is a card very much that speaks to fertility, pregnancy, and rebirth. As it pertains to the collective, I think I will take that also as further confirmation of what I was just mentioning of like these aurora borealis, these cosmic signs that even though sometimes things can seem, or things are in fact really awful, there's also always good happening, and there's always really powerful, beautiful energy unfolding as well. Not to spend too much time on this, but you know, it's been very clear for several years that those files were really an important part of American history, and it seems like some people in power have done everything they can to just force people to kind of forget. So with the more openness, more release, more transparency, more honesty about these documents and about the atrocities and horrific things that they contain, done by the hands of people who have positioned themselves to be in power in our society, it's really kind of like a moment that different stories are going to be told. And it's kind of like this energy now where maybe survivors are going to be believed differently and held differently. So there is this energy that talks about your greatest strength right now being in your ability to continue to hold that frequency of love, to anchor that frequency here on planet Earth, and to embody that energy of receptivity, of fertility, and of love worth fighting for. Nice. Card number 2. How can I activate my latent gifts? The Queen of Swords. So right now it's going to be really important that you are finding a way to speak up, to tell your story, and to be creative in every kind of various form. And actually it's really funny because I was just saying how Venus holds a sword and we have the Queen of Swords. So I love that. You know, fighting as a verb has a lot of there's probably a lot of preconceived notions or connotations about what it means to fight, but it's making me, it's this moment is reminding me of this book that I have. I thought it was so funny. It's like this big. I got it from Barnes & Noble, and it's called How to Fight by Thich Nhat Hanh. And Thich Nhat Hanh, may he rest in power, is a Vietnamese Buddhist monk who's well, you can Google him if you don't know him, but it's so funny because, you know, fighting is not something that starts in the physical. Fighting is something that starts in your spirit and in your emotions. And at this point, you really have to fight for yourself. You really have to fight for your gifts to have that place in the world. And it's not necessarily a fight of like, you know, kickboxing, but it's more so of like fighting with old conditioning, fighting with old programming. I'm literally seeing with this energy here, like in Sleeping Beauty, the like Disney animated classic, when Aurora's like asleep in the castle, everyone's asleep for like 100 years or something or whatever, and this prince who was like her soulmate or something, like knows where she is, and there's this scene where he's just hacking through all of the like thorns and vines and branches, and on the other side of those thorns and vines and branches is like literally a dragon, and it's just like a whole mess. That's kind of like the energy in terms of like trauma, moving through the scar tissue of painful experiences. You really have to just cut through and see your goal in your mind. And even if you see, you know, even if you're in that thicket and there's a dragon behind you, you know what's at the other side of your you know where your goal is. So you just have to get there. It's this energy of like, anytime that you have any kind of imposter syndrome, anytime you want to start something, anytime you want to move forward and it's like, oh, well, maybe this isn't really for me, or maybe I shouldn't do this, This is not the time for anyone to be downplaying the gifts and abilities that you have been blessed with, because what the earth needs is all of us embodying our star potential, embodying our brightest selves, breaking through the kind of thorny thicket of what may have cropped up to even protect us, or what may have once helped us to survive, but which at this point is only a hindrance. And fighting through that energy might give you more scars, and it might be exhausting, and it might be uncomfortable, and it might be different than what you're used to. But the point is to keep going. And it literally doesn't matter if we're talking about like artistic gifts, if we're talking about your work, it doesn't matter what gifts you're talking about activating, or how you're talking about being your best self. But you right now have to emotionally fight. You have to spiritually fight. You have to really remind yourself that first of all, you come from a lineage of people who have seen inextricable horrors and still found the ability to create and hold joy. And you have to remind yourself that we're at a really different and beautiful time in human history, where we have access to different technologies. We have access to different ways of people communicating with each other. We're at a really like a peak high point of people being able to communicate with each other, and we can like go forward and get better, or just kind of tumble away. This is reminding me of like, well, there's all this talk about AI and like police robots. I saw a video just this week in China where the Chinese government is using like drone technology to put out fires. So like where there's municipal fires and fires in city buildings, drones are doing that work to put out the fires. And this is the kind of thing that makes me personally feel just so completely inspired and motivated. And I just wanted to share that story because it's important to remember that like every tool, every gift is in how you use it and what it's used for, but also there are probably some things that should never be touched, and since they have been unearthed, now we are constantly doing the work to contain them, such as like uranium, for instance, and nuclear weapons. Moving on, I just want to like remember the words of Wen Yasin Bey when speaking in the last few years about the state of the world, who said, "We are not a caravan of despair." And those words have uplifted me time and time again. Whatever you're doing, wherever you are, whenever you watch this, if ever you feel the overwhelm of like grief or disdain or regret or contentment or stuckness, please remember those words. We are not a caravan of despair. And then immediately go listen to his song Umi Says. I don't know, maybe you might want to do it. That's my prescription. That's my spiritual prescription. Card number 3. What action is advised? This is crazy because I did a reading for someone, and I shuffled this deck multiple times, but there's like a lot of cards coming out from this person's reading, and that just reminds me that like I need to follow up with them. So shout out to that. Shout out to my guides, and shout out to my clients. So what action is advised is the Knight of Wands. So it's really important here to like remember that I guess I want to talk about ideas in terms of how they connect to collective consciousness. And I was reading a lot about this a few years ago, but there is some evidence to suggest that when certain ideas or visions pop up in someone's consciousness, it's because that person has the gifts or ability to enact that vision, to carry that vision forward and to bring it into the tangible, into the physical. And also, if that person does not do it, that idea will find itself in someone else's consciousness. Like, it is known. And it's interesting because like even I've seen things happen where people get into like arguments or beef because people will have like make a song that sounds like the same and then have this like copyright war or something. And sure, plagiarism exists, but that's not what I'm talking about. I'm talking about people being struck by the same inspiration, and then each person thinking their thing was completely unique, and it being sort of a similar vision but enacted by different people. This is really important, that at this time when you get your ideas, you have to do something with them. And it's making me think about an interview that I listened to or watched of Saul Williams when I was like in the grocery store parking lot in the last 3 years. And he was just saying, like, I just carry a pen and paper with me. Like, it doesn't matter if I'm like, you know, eating dinner or like reading a book. If I get a little idea, like for a poem or for my work, I'm gonna jot it down and come back to it. There's this energy here where there's so much like powerful energy that has been building, that there's like this like very catalytic moment that we are in. And like, if you get an idea, like if you're struck with that divine inspiration, you are encouraged to act on it. And it's because by acting on it, when you get this idea, what you're doing is like not dissolving old timelines, but removing their relevance. Okay, this is so cute. Thank you to my spirit team. It's like, you know how I was talking about the Disney animated classic Sleeping Beauty with all those vines? It's kind of like, instead of cutting through and hacking through every single one of them and getting more scars and blood everywhere, you just like are in like, you know, Adobe editor or whatever, and like you get your Pro Tools and you just like click on a vine and you click delete. You like click on it, you click delete. There's this energy happening where when you get these new ideas and you act on them immediately, or you make that promise to the universe that you're going to act on them by like writing them down or somehow keeping them at the very forefront of your conscious, you are taking steps to create the, not only the very new, obviously, like neural pathways of like creativity and healing for yourself, but you're creating new pathways for art to thrive, for generations to thrive, for people to follow you, for the collective to continue to raise its vibration, which I guess I need to keep doing this more, because I don't want to use terms of like elevating your frequency that could be connected to like ideologies that I don't agree with, because I find that sometimes when people talk about things like ascension or raising vibration, they're really only talking about WS. I'm not going to say the words in this video, but you know what I'm talking about. If you know, you know. But it's important to understand that literally changing your frequency and raising the vibration actually is important and beautiful and necessary and natural to do. For instance, you know, being around bees that are buzzing or cats that are purring will alter your frequency and vibration. So like, it's very, very real. When you're taking these ideas and taking an action toward them, no matter how small, you're removing perhaps sometimes centuries of dated conditioning and limitations. And it makes it's reminding me of this thing that Kanye West said a couple years ago, where he was like, I want to be so free that in the future, like, my children can levitate. And this is not about like Kanye West and like all of the baggage that comes with mentioning his name. This is not about aligning myself with anti-Semitism or anything, but this is about the fact that when you have that genius energy, which everyone has the ability to tap into that frequency, you should have an understanding that the future and that the potential can be limitless. And it's important to create in that way. And it's important to remember, if you ever feel silly doing that, or like it's too much or too whatever, like think of our ancestors who were just like running all the time, like being like awake in 2025 and seeing people just like riding like segways or like mopeds. Like, how crazy is that? Our inspiration, our divine ideas, whenever we start to take action on them, even if we don't finish them, whatever, we're kind of entering into a contract with the collective and with the universe that we believe in creation itself, that we believe in something better. And that's really important at this time. I mean, Kanye West is also the person who wrote Jesus Walks, so what do you want me to say? More, I guess. There's also something here about movement. So for some of you, it's like just incorporating more movement into your experience is going to be really, really helpful for you, whatever that means to you. Okay, card number 4, clarity on the action. So we have the Knight of Cups. So this is talking about, the importance of making sure that you are allowing your emotions to be your guides. You're allowing your emotions to show up for you in a way that, even if it's different or uncomfortable, like what I just did about Kanye West, it's important. It's important to feel your way through what's happening in your experience personally and in the larger collective experience. It's really interesting that my guides keep showing me or bringing me back to that sort of Sleeping Beauty thing. And it's funny, right? Because when I started talking, I was talking about like this night, like cutting through those branches, but then I was also talking about just like clicking and deleting them. It's kind of like when you get into a certain energy of creativity and flow, you're able to do that work of transmuting some of your darkest traumas, pains, and experiences, and just allowing them to create more space in the world and in your life for love and for emotional liberation and for freedom. And I talk about this because so often, for so many of us, so much of what we're carrying is the weight and baggage of our ancestors or our lineage's unfinished, I was gonna say crimes, but it's not really crimes, but it's just like emotional turmoil. So many people's lives cut short in suffering, with famine, with war, with sorrow, with separation. All of us hold these different aspects in our lineage, and they really show up. Patterns show up until they can be dismantled, identified, transmuted, not destroyed. Energy is not created and destroyed, transmuted, alchemized. And so it's this really beautiful energy that's showing that, like, as a collective, like, that's a lot of what's happening at this point in human history. People are really embodying powerful emotional intelligence to do things that do honor our lineages, that do show respect for the earth, that do show respect for collective love and liberation, that are working to elevate the frequency. But clarity on the action means that, when you're creating, if you do jot down those notes, if you do incorporate movement into your experience, if you do take action on your ideas, you don't just do it from this like rote thing of like muscle memory. You do it and you feel the whole way. That's the only way that this is like going to work, if that makes sense. It's kind of like you have the muscle memory of brushing your teeth because you do it every day for years. You can just like do that on autopilot. But if you do that presently, mindfully, intentionally, you're creating more energy for yourself. You're creating more space for yourself. You're creating more of a frequency match for your environment and your vibrational awareness to continue to put you in alignment with other beings who are in that same frequency match to you. And you're being an example. Good job. Okay, card number 5. What obstacles should I be aware of? The thorns. No, I'm just kidding. What obstacles should I be aware of? We have the 6 of Wands, and this is really, really important and interesting. I feel like, okay, there's a lot with this. So it's now Jupiter retrograde and it's now Mercury retrograde. And this is a card of victory and of triumph. And this being in an obstacle point is really talking about the importance of watching your desperation and ego. And I say those words with utter compassion. There's an energy here where it's like you can be really, as you're unlocking your star potential, as you're doing this really beautiful work, you're going to have these moments and experiences where you have the ability to sort of be held up and lauded and appreciated, but it's going to be really important that you have the understanding to know what of those experiences are only there to distract you from your purpose. To kind of have like a real world example of this, probably one will come to mind. I don't know. Oh, some of my warrior spirits are ruthless. Okay, we're going to talk about MLK for a second. Don't kill me. Okay, so the March on Washington is this really historic gathering, and it's really amazing and really meaningful and really incredible. And Martin Luther King Jr. changed the world, and I love him and I love his descendants. Please don't kill me. But when Martin Luther King Jr. actually got assassinated is when he did the sanitation workers strike. Maybe was that in Memphis, Tennessee? I feel like that was connected to Memphis. I'm literally talking about the sanitation workers strike right now, but I'll have to Google it. But it's this energy of like, you know, his work is so relevant and necessary and beautiful and important and historic, but he also is famous for saying like, I fear I have integrated my people into a burning building. There's this energy of like, maybe even you're in a position to reach millions or billions of people. Maybe you're in a position to receive certain awards or whatever, but don't accept them at the account of your own spirit's purpose, of your own self, of your own artistic creation. It's kind of like, you know how some artists sign with like a major label, but then since they don't own their masters, like they can't release their music when they want to, their music videos get sanitized, their release dates get pushed back, and then it takes a toll on their like mental health and stuff like that. It's like whatever you're creating, whatever you're unlocking has so much potential and is so beautiful. You know what another example of this is? This probably has to do with her getting out of prison this year, Yolanda, but this is kind of like Selena, God bless her, for real, who like literally like it's giving Selena and Princess Diana energy. There's this energy of like beautiful souls who are so talented, gifted, compassionate, real, and represent a hope for so many people and represent this kind of like understanding of different worlds to so many different people, that brought so many people together, that still after their death posthumously bring people together, and whose, you know, ability, whose just beauty, joy, and kindness and abilities and gifts are so powerful. But because of that fame, because of that accolades and not accommodation, but because of that visibility, some people also like went crazy and wanted them not alive anymore. You know, when I think about Yolanda shooting Selena, Yolanda was one of Selena's closest like confidants, and she was just insane. When you are in that vibrational frequency, this is the message as well. When you are in that vibrational frequency, you're magnetizing everything towards you. you're not just magnetizing love and support, you're magnetizing all energy towards you. And that also speaks to like obsession and stuff like this. So this is kind of a message that has multiple meanings, but one part of the obstacle is don't allow a big trophy or a big shiny whatever, or even bringing together more people than ever before in Washington DC. Don't allow whatever your wins are to distract you from your actual goal again, from whatever your goal is. That's the first thing. And the second thing is, when you have this visibility, it is a gift, but it is also an obstacle in the form that it is attracting everything to you. So it is of the utmost importance that you not only practice the art of discernment, but that you up your spiritual protection and that you fight emotionally. Because the biggest thing is, if you're not embodying that confident energy that you need to embody, if you're not fighting that old programming, if you're asleep to your own gifts, you're doing yourself a disservice. So I'll say that. There's a lot of ways that you can upgrade your spiritual protection. I've talked about ways to do that before, but I will do so again in the future. Card number 6 is health advice. Ace of Pentacles. Interesting. So this is a card that talks about your wealth status and it being really, really good, but also your health status and that also being good. So this is, and it's funny that the Ace of Pentacles came out with health advice, because health and well-being are not commodities, but they have been commodified. And it's really important to remember at this time that, like, you know, so many illnesses, disease, and ailments are connected to the man-made disease of like poverty. So hopefully, I think this talks about maybe a shift that we can expect to see in that regard. But this also is talking about how, because capitalism is a system that lives right now, the more money you have, the more health you can have. So for some of you, in order to increase your health, you need to increase your finances. And for some of you, you might have like money blockages, you might have like money trauma. Hold on. So for a lot of you, you literally have money blockages that need to be dissolved and transmuted. There is an energy here where understanding that the more that you have money, the more that you can rest, the more that you can get better ingredients for better meals, the more that you can do these things that are going to decrease some of the stresses of modern living. And this is talking about the importance of not feeling bad about that. So for some of you, you can expect to see a shift in your finances that's going to be more stabilizing, that's going to increase your health, your overall well-being. And when you see that stabilizing money influence, it's important to just be receptive and open and graceful to that, even if it's like a programming that you're not used to. Card number 7, advice from your spirit guide, is union. We have the 2 of Cups here. So I see that this means that there's really good, healthy, strong, beautiful, flowing connections with your spirit team at this time. And I also see that it's important to remember that you are deserving of love, that you are loved, that you embody love, and that divine union is in your energy. Whether you're already in this connection or this is a connection that's coming in, it's just important to remember to keep your heart open, because this is a blessing and a gift for you. And our final card here is how to activate abundant blessings. It's the 9 of Cups. The Nine of Cups is literally also called the wish fulfillment card. So the way to activate your latent blessings is basically Delulu is the Salulu. Keep reminding yourself that the vision that you have of yourself, that the things that you want are not just coming from you, they're coming from your spirit team. Keep remembering that the vision that you have, the hope that you hold is not only your own, and keep moving forward. Love you. See you next time. Ciao.